It's really starting to hurt now.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
I'm at the point now where I can't go any faster or any slower. Oh God.
Everesting is really hard work and a bit slow. The hour record, meanwhile, is prohibitively expensive and also really unpleasant. So is there an alternative ultimate test for cyclists that actually blends the best of both? Yes there is, and it's called the Uphill Hour. Now you might remember Emma Pooley had a go at this a couple of years back, but her record, which still stands I believe, relies on having one super humongous epic climb at your disposal. However, we are going to change things up a little bit, and so now this challenge is going to be accessible to almost all of us. The premise is simple. How many meters can you climb in 1 hour? The catch is that you have to finish at the same height as you start. So theoretically, that means you won't get an advantage from riding up one continuous climb because you would still have to turn around and get to the bottom. So ultimately, it means that there is no excuse. We can all have a go at the Uphill Hour. Okay, this is me, the world famous, almost Naish Hill in the southwest of England, a climb that I absolutely hate. The reason I've chosen it though is because Alice Thompson set what at the time was a world's best for Everesting. Now she did a lot of reps because it's just 1.16 kilometers long at an average gradient of 10.1%, meaning, maths fans, that it climbs 120 meters every time you do it. Now according to Strava, I've only ever been uphill once, and that was on March the 26th, 2012. I did say I didn't like it. My time that day was 4 minutes and 2 seconds. So what I'm aiming for is 6-minute reps, up and down. However, I've got to admit, I was a lot fitter back then than I am now. And also, I think my time might be seriously affected by how quickly I can do U-turns and how much traffic there is.
Don't ask me, James, why he decided to pick the busiest climb in the world. So, sorry.
Now, as you might imagine, the key to this, I think, is going to be going super light. So I'm not taking any spares with me, no pump or tube, because I'm only going a maximum of 1.16 kilometers from my car. I've also only got half a bottle in there. I've only got electrolytes in there from Enivit. I didn't want carbohydrates, but I thought it was really important to have something sweet in my mouth just to keep going. I've also got an energy gel that I'm going to dispatch in the first 15 minutes. And then that's it, basically. No more prep, just got to do it.
Oh yeah, I said I was going super lightweight, but of course I've got a GoPro with me as well. So anyway, here we go, ready to roll. Start the clock, 12 minutes past 10 on a Tuesday morning. A inauspicious time for a world record attempt. All right, better crack on, hadn't I? There's no getting away from it, it's gonna hurt. Okay, halfway through run 1. That's the delightful M5 that I have to go over. I'm trying to get my head around pacing at the moment.
So I've just arrived at the climb, just done a bit of a warm-up, and the climb I've chosen to do is Qeeo Hill, and it's a savage hill and I try and avoid it at all costs. But today I thought it was going to be perfect for the challenge. So the section I've chosen is just under half a K. I'm not going to do the whole thing because there's quite a bit of flat in it, so I've chosen the steepest section, and the max gradient on that section is 14%. And the total meters of climbing in one rep will be 52 meters. I have no idea how many reps I'm going to be able to do. I just hope it's more than cyclists. So let's get cracking. Just going to ride to the bottom and start from there, because if I start at the top and then have to try and get back up to the top and won't be able to do it, that's not going to be good. So just got to the bottom of the climb, and as you can see, it's quite steep, and it's just started raining, so the roads are quite slippery, so I'm going to have to be extra careful on the descents, and I'm definitely not going to take any risks on the way down. I haven't got power on my bike, so I'm just going to go off feel and heart rate. Going to try and keep my heart rate 180, 190, I reckon. Hopefully I can keep it around there for the hour. 3, 2, 1, off I go.
Up, 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 up.
Good rep.
Coming up to the top, my third rep. Predictably, I went for over threshold, which means legs get pretty sore at the start of each rep, but by this point I'm kind of okay. I'm nearly a quarter way through though. Last steep bit, away you go.
Although this seems like a quirky little challenge, how high you can climb in 1 hour is actually a really important metric in cycling, or at least it is among the pros. Your speed of ascent is called VAM, which stands for Velocità ASCENSIONALE Media, which is a term that was coined by the now infamous Italian cycling sports scientist, Dr. Ferrari. Pro teams now use VAM as a method of calculating a rider's performance or ability, and also to analyse racing. For example, a team would typically ride at a VAM of about 1500 while climbing mid-stage, and then reckon on about 1700 for the final climb of the day to be in with a shot at the stage victory. Our hour challenge is slightly different to VAM though, as it will include descending time as well, of course. So it's not directly comparable. However, as a way of calculating your performance, the hour challenge is potentially just as good.
Go man on!
It's absolutely brutal. I've only done 460 metres in half an hour. Can't imagine doing it in Everesting or Trenching. I'm at the point now where I can't go any faster or any slower. Whew.
I'd love to tell you what rep I'm on, but I don't know. I've lost count. Now, I'm not looking at elevation. I kind of don't want to think about it. Instead, my pacing now is largely dictated by gear ratios. I'm in the easiest right now. 200 metres, I can drop it into 25. 300 metres, back to 28. Chuck a Qeeo, stick it in the big ring. Bottom section is really starting to hurt now. Every time I try and get my legs moving again, and I made a point of leaving it into the big ring till just up here, but at least it gives me a target.
Up, up, up. Go man on! Up, up, up.
Bang on! Oh God. That was super tough. Oh. So, in an hour, I did 922 meters of climbing, had an average heart rate of 171 and a max heart rate of 192. I mean, not bad for a track rider. I'm definitely not a hill climber, so pretty proud of that.
I've not got time for a full last rep, so I'm doing what I can on 58 minutes, 40 seconds before chucking a Qeeo. I don't want to cut it too fine. Okay, getting to 59 minutes. Let's chuck a Qeeo here. 4 or 5 seconds to get back down now. I'll be alright. There we go. 59 minutes, 45 seconds. End ride. Yes, please. Make it stop. Well, you can see I haven't really moved yet. Tell you what, Nash Hill, I think the reason I never rode it was not because it's steep and horrible, it's because it's really, really busy. Fortunately, I didn't stand in the way too much. I tell you what, that was was kind of enjoyable, but it's also so interesting. Like, irrespective of whether you want to get a result or not, just going through that kind of level of effort on the same climb, it tells you an awful lot about your body. Even though I'm 37 and I've been doing this for, well, nearly 3 decades, I don't think I've ever quite sort of seen myself and felt myself decline like that. So I can't wait to crunch through some data and also find exactly what I got. But if my Wahoo is correct, then it's obviously based on barometric pressure, so it's open to error. I'm quite happy with that. That was exactly what I set out to do. Well, not 1,174, that'd be weird. 1,200, but I'll take that. Oh, my arms hurt. I'm gonna put this GoPro down now.
All right, now, if I'm gonna have any chance of beating the other GCN presenters, I'm gonna need a cunning plan. Fortunately, I've got a cunning plan. Well, actually, technically, I can't take the credit for it. I happened to speak to Alex Dowsett on the phone last night. Is that rather than just ride up and down one climb, I'm gonna ride up and down 2 climbs. In kind of like a giant half pipe type deal, the thinking being that I don't have to slow down and brake at the bottom of the climb. I can just carry my momentum through into the next one, turn around at the top, come back down. So that's the plan, that's what I'm gonna do. Richardson never saw this one coming. Now, I've looked in the rules, and there's nowhere in the rules that says I can't do this cunning plan. So I'm gonna do it. Also, I've spoken to some other experts as well. So I spoke to JP Ballard. He said that deeper wheels would be better for this kind of challenge because rotating weight's not gonna matter with the way I do it, because you only lose inertia in the wheel when you brake, and I'm never braking because I hold the momentum as I go down and up, and then I slow down, and then I never have to accelerate from a standing start at the base of a climb where a light wheel would matter. Long story short, I've just got 2 massive aero flywheels on my bike. Yeah. Let me give it a go. Wish me luck.
Oh man, this is a hard challenge to do, and to compound it, make it even worse, it started raining. I'm doing all right, doing all right. Just finished the challenge. That was hard. About 10 minutes in, I was thinking, is there any way that I can just ride half of this and then somehow like hack the computer file and double it? Well, anyway, I didn't do that, I just carried on. But it was worth it, because I think I might have beaten the other presenters. So I've done 1270 meters, which is pretty high. And if I have won, then this isn't a victory for me. Once and for all, I hope this is a victory for aero and science, because I've got the big, deep wheels in, and also a victory for Alex Dowsett as well. Thanks, Alex. Very cunning. And victory for mullets as well. Anyway, I'm going to go now. I had to get up at 5 a.m. to do this, so I'm going to get some breakfast. Hey!
Well, it seems like Ollie might have won that one. I mean, his giant half-pipe technique, which, well, it's not technically against the rules, he's right. I just think perhaps he's cheated himself on that one. But anyway, I'm not bitter. Not that bitter. Anyway, he tops the leaderboard with 1,270 metres, which is a fine effort, to be fair. I am second with 1,174 metres, and Manon is just behind with 922 metres. Our team sprinter putting us all to shame, quite frankly.
Well, the stage is now yours. Give it a go. Come and obliterate our puny effort. I can't recommend it enough, actually. It's not half as grim as you might think, and it's also absolutely fascinating and weirdly enjoyable. And not only that, as I was going up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down, I did start to think that actually this is kind of like the ultimate fitness test. Sod FTP tests, sod ramp tests. If you want to know how fit you are ahead of your sporty for your race or whatever, come and have a go at an uphill hour record. Make sure you let us know in the comments section down below, and we'll also be following up on this on the GCN show as well. So we'll give a few shout outs to the ultimate uphill hour records.